JB Cycles here with a weekend update on August the 31st. To begin with here today I have the boring seasonal variation cycle. Boring because it is so obvious, nothing secret here, any mystical planetary cycle. So it's the 3-month earnings cycle, which also aligns with the 6-month geomagnetic cycle caused by the tilt of the geomagnetic field, and we have some recurring periods around March, April and September, October where we have a lot of solar storms. Anyway, you see the quarterly cycle here in green, and with red vertical lines I have shown the corresponding 6-month cycle lows. So we have a low at the COVID lows. This one, yeah, pretty much spot on with the cycle. And we have a 6-month cycle low here, a little bit early, as you see. This one is spot on, and this one in March 2022 is a bit early. This one is spot on, and this one, yeah, a little bit early. And then we have this one that came a little bit late in October 2023. As you see, this was a very unusual correction with 3 waves down. And it could have ended here after 2 waves down at the ideal cycle low, but then we had the Palestine attack, on the terrorist attack on Israel, and then the war started, which gave us another leg down here, and we got a late low. And we have this low, it's also a little bit late, and this one is a little bit late, and then we have the Trump tariff panic, pretty much spot on. And now, as you see, the cycle, the quarterly cycle has a top and it has a low around end of September-ish. Also you can see now I focused on the 6-month cycle, but the 3-month cycle is indeed very visible sometimes, like over here in summer 2020, or this one July 22, or this one here that was August 2024. So actually this correction was deeper than the 2 6-month cycle lows, but still it was only a 3-month cycle low. So this 6-month cycle is a geomagnetic cycle, and so is also the 17-week cycle, which is caused by the Venus-Jupiter heliocentric conjunctions and oppositions, which results in a variation in strong geomagnetic storms or solar storms. And if we make a composite of these 2 cycles, we see we had a low here in fall of 23, and this was a very mild low, and then we have a low here and something going on here, and this one in January 25, and then the tariff panic low. And as you see, the composite has a low around mid-September, end of September. And as you know, that has been my scenario lately. We have the 3.5-year cycle, and it looked very much like a topping setup this winter, and I was pretty sure that was it, that was the top, and we crashed down. But the problem is we crashed too deep, and a crash is bullish. Nothing is as bullish as the market getting cheap fast. So, well, I was for a long time looking for some kind of a double top, but that did not materialize. So we did get the failed breakdown scenario, which we have some analogs to look at, but still I'm still interpreting this as we have not made a cycle low, we are stretching the bull market, and then we should have the awaited bear market sometime this late this fall or winter into next summer. And I have found here, you see some of these analogs I have identified, and we have some more here in 65 and in 1980, 1989, and already saw these three. You know, I'm not considering the 1998 crash as an analog. As you see, that low was at the cycle low, so it happened so to say at the right time, only that it happened very late. You know, this bull market, it stretched and continued and went on, but we needed some kind of a correction, and then we got the 1998 crash. And you know, at this point where we are now, we have not reached the cycle low. So no, these are my analogs, and as I have shown you, the analogs are here. I divided them into, where are they, two groups. You know, we have this group, and in light blue I have the 1980 analog. I don't like it as an analog, but I cannot exclude it. But I think most likely we are following these in purple and blue, suggesting we have more or less reached the upside target for this extended bull market, and we should go sideways into November, and then the downtrend begins. But first we need this September correction, and then call it a double top in November. So I have these two other a bit different scenarios. They had a very clear A, B, C formation, you know, this early deep correction, and I don't see us correlate with these two, but if we were to actually end up following these, they would suggest maybe no real correction, just, you know, making a round top perhaps here into early October and then crashing down. It is not what I see in the data, but I would not exclude it totally, and neither I cannot totally exclude this 1980 scenario with a huge upside into November. You know, this would mean maybe peace with Russia and Ukraine, and everything is just great. But yeah, but as you saw, time is running out in the 17-week cycle, but the 3 and 6 month cycles have a low late September. Yeah. Also, call it the wave structure here. Yeah, this is getting more and more ready. My previous video, we were at this point, and I said I expect the last push to the upside. That is what we got. And looking at the wavelets, yeah, this looks very ready for this awaited correction. Now, there's, you know, it is possible with a new month beginning on Monday, and the market just loves new months beginning. So I wouldn't exclude us popping up for a couple of days here to make a small double top or whatever. So the correction should begin in very few days, but we will start crashing down on Monday or later in the week. I cannot say for sure. So I'm expecting some kind of a correction down to this, well, call it 6,200 level perhaps. So it's not that a deep correction, and then we have to see. You know, I've been analyzing the monthly data, the 2-week data, the weekly data for the S&P, for Norway and the German DAX, and they are all looking very ripe for a new bearish setup. You know, it looks more and more, and even a better, of course, setup than we had in February. But you know, with monthly data, it's not a precision tool. You can miss by a month or two. So it still corresponds with a top in November. But I should also mention that just after, well, before the summer, I had a setup for the final rally in the German DAX ending in August. So we have to see. You know, some markets may break down earlier than others, but I think we will have a topping situation into October, November before we start the downtrend into maybe next summer. So That's it. See ya.